Welcome to My Why, a series of personal stories that share the history and impact of YPN, the premier provider of prenatal and parenting programs in East Central Iowa. We support, educate, and empower families since 1985. Join us in our mission and learn the why YPN for so many in our community.
Welcome to another episode of My Why, a podcast by YPN. My name is Alejandro Pino, and I'm honored and privileged to serve as Executive Director. So thanks, everybody, for joining us. I have the world-famous Tasia Davidson here with us today. And I got to tell you, Tasia, you've been around now for what, about
7 years.
7 years, my gosh. She's amazing. Now, amazing is just a word that kind of comes to mind, in that she does so much for the organization, especially, and I'll have her kind of explain a little bit about this piece too, but she essentially oversees our We Care shop and also our diaper bank, which has grown extraordinarily, right? Mm-hmm. Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So why don't you just tell the listeners a little bit about yourself, maybe what you do at YPN, and explain a little bit about the shop, maybe in diaper bank, if you could.
Yeah, absolutely. As Alejandro said, I'm the We Care shop coordinator at YPN. I started YPN 7 years ago as the volunteer coordinator, and I transitioned into the role of We Care shop coordinator probably 6 years ago, I guess. The We Care shop, we take donations, baby items, clothes, toys, pack and plays, pretty much the essentials for kiddos 5 and under. Anytime somebody comes to a YPN program, they earn points that they can spend in the We Care shop.
Yeah.
So it's a really great part of YPN, just, having the incentive shop there and motivating clients to earn points so that they can get what they need for their kiddos.
Yeah, that's right. And you do such a great job, because one of the things that we always want people to feel is dignity, right?
Yes.
So the shop itself is really, it's beautifully, put together. The only thing that kind of goes crazy is when the kids come to shop and then they throw everything around, right? But we're getting a little bit better with that. But really, we want people to feel that it's just like a shopping experience, and we want them to feel proud of why they're there too, because like you mentioned, they earn those points, and it's something that they've worked towards, which is fantastic, right? And I will also just give a huge thanks to the community too, because like you mentioned, everything that is in there has been lovingly donated by the community too, and there's amazing items in there too. So
yeah, we do get some really great donations.
Great, right?
Yeah.
Could you tell us a little bit about the diaper bank? Because I know that has just grown exponentially, and you continue to do such a great job with that. But maybe explain to the audience a little bit about that.
Okay, yeah. So the diaper bank was formed in 2016. It's a partnership between YPN and Eastern Iowa Health Center. Eastern Iowa Health Center was seeing a lot of patients come in that were experiencing like diaper rash and infections from sitting in diapers too long. So we together formed the diaper bank, and then we brought on HAYCAP, the WIC program here in Cedar Rapids. And currently we have about 5,000 families enrolled in the diaper bank. They can get up to 50 diapers per day per child, 100 diapers per day if they have 2 or more kiddos, and then 2 packages of wipes every month. So currently we are distributing about 42,000 diapers every month. Since 2016, we have distributed over 2 million diapers.
Yeah, we just crossed that threshold, right? Which is amazing. Over 2 million diapers.
Yes, it's crazy.
It's exploded, hasn't it?
It has.
Which is we have to be careful with explosions and diapers.
Yes, we do.
But that's great. And again, that is not easy undertaking to be able to distribute that many diapers to. I know it takes your great work, but also great volunteers, and the staff have also, I know, stepped up to help. And we'll get. I'm going to ask you a little bit about a drive that we have coming up here shortly. But I want to transition a little bit just to YPN, because we want people to hear about you and the why behind you a little bit too. But what led you to YPN?
When I was studying at Kirkwood for my human services degree, I found YPN as an internship opportunity. So I interned with YPN. I just fell in love with the program. I saw the volunteer coordinator position open up. I just jumped on it because I knew I wanted to be part of such a great team. So.
Oh, that's a great story. Yeah, I don't know if everybody knows that story, so that's awesome.
Yeah.
Intern to now full-time, one of the big head honchos there. That's awesome. Tell us a little bit, because obviously, you know, with the work that you do, you interact with families on a daily basis. Mm-hmm. So is there something in particular, you know, that, how do they inspire you on a daily basis?
Just seeing like how the families are so excited to come into the We Care shop.
Yeah.
And see some of the great donations that we've got in there. You know, they're just so excited to have the opportunity to get these things for their kiddos that they might not otherwise be able to afford. Baby things are just so expensive. So, right. You know, just seeing the work that they're putting in so that they can better get things for their kiddos, or, you know, just build up their families. It's just really, it's inspiring to see.
Yeah, and it's something too that, you know, we often have to remind ourselves of how proud we should be of the families that we serve too, right? Because really, when you look at it, most, if not almost all, are coming voluntarily to our program, which I know has changed, you know, in recent history. So that's also great, because a lot of the times there's a lot of misconceptions or assumptions made of the folks that we serve, and we're kind of seeing that not happen, right? And that many are coming to improve their life situation and want to grow and be surrounded by a great supportive community as well. So that's fantastic to see too, and you're a great part of that effort as well. So as you look at your own personal role, how do you hope to impact the families and the staff at YPN?
In my particular role, you know, just being a smiling face I see when they come into the We Care shop or come through the diaper bank. You know, I love interacting with the families. Just being able to help brighten their day and share some of the great things that we have to offer. So
yeah, it's great too, because, you know, sometimes when I'll go down there and pop my head in, and we see this too at the group programming, but it's kind of like the United Nations when you go down there, right? Because we hear so many different languages, and there's so many different folks, you know, that come in, you know, to go shopping too, and the kids are just beautiful, and it's just great to see, you know, that growth, because we really want, parenting is kind of universal, essentially, right? Regardless of where you come from, there's always support that's needed with parenting as well too. So we want everybody to know that we're here for essentially, well, we can't be everything to everybody. We want everybody to know that we're here as that resource for the parenting piece. So that's important. So I'm glad that you share that as well. When you look at the families too, Tasia, what do you think are some of the barriers that some of the families experience? I
definitely think one of the biggest barriers is just being able to provide adequate communication sometimes. Because as you said, we have such a diverse group of families coming through. The families that are speaking Dari or Pashto, you know, it's really hard to properly communicate with them sometimes. We try our absolute hardest, and you know, we get the job done, but you know, sometimes it's a little difficult. So
yeah, the language piece is certainly tricky. You know, even though it's great to hear all the languages being spoken, it does that communication can be a little challenging sometimes too. And it's interesting because a lot of the times the kids actually help to translate, right? Which is amazing. Just the capacity that kids have to be able to do that so early in their time here in the United States is unbelievable. But anyway, before I ask you this last question, I do want to talk a little bit about the drive that I mentioned earlier, which is Operation Diaper Drive. Can you maybe explain that a little bit to the listeners?
Yes, absolutely. So each year we hold our one and only fundraiser, Operation Diaper Drive. It is held through the whole month of October. We join forces with local organizations to help raise enough diapers to stock the diaper bank. We have collection boxes at all of the organizations that sponsor the diaper drive. We also take donations online. That's held every October. We do take donations throughout the year as well, but this is just our ask to help support the diaper.
Yeah, and we want to give a huge shout out to the sponsors, right?
Yes,
because
absolutely.
without them and just the kindness of people donating, we wouldn't be able to do what we do with the diaper bank, right? So essentially, that's a huge part of the why behind the diaper, being able to give out all those diapers too. So thanks to all the sponsors that are helping us. So again, in October, you might see some of those boxes. So if you're thinking of donating, we would certainly appreciate that during the month of October, but also throughout the year as well too. So thanks to everybody for your participation in that as well. So last question, okay?
Sounds good.
She has a huge smile on her face because it's the last question. So what's your why, Tasia? What's your why?
My why, I just want to be able to help the families that want to be there to better their lives, better the lives of their children. I want to be somebody that they get excited to see when they walk into the We Care shop, and just know that we're there to help them.
Love that. So essentially, your why are the families that we serve.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Which I mean, all the families are just amazing when you think about, a lot of the struggles that they've been through or have seen. The fact that we're able to be part of that in their lives with regard to improving their life is pretty powerful.
It is.
Right? It's something that we should never underestimate. And like I mentioned, I call you T-Dog sometimes as well. Thank you so very much for joining us today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
And more importantly, just thank you for everything you do at YPN, the diaper bank, the We Care shop. More than anything, the families appreciate the work that you do. You're a huge part of the organization and of the programming that goes into YPN. So thanks so much for joining us today.
I appreciate you having me. Thank you.
Absolutely. And thanks to our listeners for tuning in. And look out for our next episode coming up soon. Take care, everybody.
Thank you for listening to My Why, a YPN podcast. We can't make our impact without your support. Please consider donating to YPN. Your gift will make a difference. Visit www.ypniowa.org/give to donate today.